Hey David, I have a question that might be somewhat personal, but have a lot of implications in a lot of people's lives. And I know Luli's talked about this, so it revolves around just romantic relationships, personal relationships, and the whole dichotomy of genes versus memes. We need society to procreate now. We don't have we don't live an infinite life. We know immortality is possible in some sense, but I guess there is a sense of like we want to create the best memes that we can. We want to create the best explanations that we have in our lives. But how do you think about that in terms of children and education, whether or not to have a family or be in a relationship or just work on things like constructor theory and AGI and life extension or biotech or just really curious to see how you think about all those ideas.
I don't think it's a good idea to try and save the world in the sense of subordinating one's own values to what one thinks the world's values are. So maybe the world needs a larger population. My guess is that it does. In other words, that would be a good thing. That the world as a whole would thrive better if it had more people in it. But and other people, of course, think that the world would thrive better if it had fewer people in it. I think in both cases, it's a bad idea to subordinate one's own life to that objective.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even, for example, a good idea in my own life to try to publicize my own ideas. I do it to some extent, but I don't subordinate it to the fun of actually trying to solve problems. And some of the problems are only of interest to me, and some are interest to me and like half a dozen other people in the world, and some are of interest to more people. But the way I would choose what to do is try to meet my own values, and to the extent that my own values include having preferences about how the world is, then the meeting my values would include trying to make the world better. But trying to make the world better as an overarching principle for how to make personal decisions, I think, is a mistake. I don't know if that's your question.
Yeah, I guess that answers a little bit of it. And then it's just like being young, a big part of culture in general and society is just finding a significant other or partner, and there's the whole debate against polyamory and or to have a committed monogamous relationship, and that is it drives a lot of culture.
Yeah, well, different people find answers in different ways, and they have extremely different problem situations.
And I guess from the context of the beginning of Infinity of like what was actually useful. It was useful to make more people, and to do that, people had families to do that in a kind of divide and conquer kind of sense, whether they knew it or not. Right? People kind of when they team up, they can they're more than the sum of their parts.
Yes, although there are many ways of teaming up, and each of them has better and worse ways of doing it.
Yeah.
So you form a society, you form friends, you form families, and all of those can involve mistakes in how to do it, and we've got here by people making progress with that, but for most of history they didn't make progress.